If you're a creator, the YouTube algorithm can feel like this big, locked door, right? But what if you had the key? In this explainer, we're not just going to talk about the algorithm. We're going to give you the actual blueprint to make it work for you and get your videos recommended. And this is why it's so incredibly important. A massive 70% of all the time people spend watching videos on YouTube comes straight from the recommendation engine, not from search, not from subscriptions. So think about that. If you're not getting recommended, you're basically invisible to most viewers out there. That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It can feel like some kind of dark magic, but I promise you it's not. It's a system. And today, we're going to lay out the entire blueprint for that system, piece by piece. Okay, let's pull back the curtain. The first thing you have to get is that the algorithm isn't some moody, mysterious force. No, it's a predictable process, and it's all designed for one main goal: long-term viewer satisfaction. That's it. So here's the core of how it all works. It's a two-phase system. When you upload a video, it immediately goes into phase one, which you can think of as initial testing. YouTube shows it to a small, hand-picked group of people, basically your biggest fans, to see how they react. If they click it, watch it, and engage with it, that's a huge green light for the algorithm. Only then, and I mean only then, does it move to phase two, or scaling, where it gets pushed out to a much, much wider audience. Our whole job is to absolutely crush phase one. So how do we pass that initial test? Well, you do it by mastering these 5 key ranking factors. These are the signals the algorithm is literally looking for to decide if your video is good enough to show to more people. The very first hurdle is your click-through rate, or CTR. I call this the door opener, and for good reason. If people don't even click on your video to begin with, well, nothing else you do matters. The algorithm has zero other data to look at. And here are the hard numbers. You've got to pay attention to these. An excellent click-through rate is somewhere between 5 and 10%. But look at that warning. If your CTR drops below 2%, the algorithm just stops. It pretty much puts your video on a shelf and forgets about it. This is why your title and thumbnail are absolutely everything. They have to work together to create a promise that's just impossible to ignore. All right, so they clicked. Awesome. But now you have to keep them watching. This brings us to watch time and retention, and this is the keeper. This is how you prove to YouTube that your video actually delivers on that big promise your title and thumbnail just made. And the target here, as you can see, is pretty ambitious. You're aiming for 60% or more. Those first 15 seconds are completely make or break. You have to hook the viewer right away. After that, you keep their attention with something called pattern interrupts. A quick zoom, a sound effect, a change in the shot, every 30 to 60 seconds. It works because it constantly resets their attention and stops them from getting bored and clicking away. So you've got the click, and you've kept them watching. Great. Now it's time to build on that momentum. Our third factor, engagement, is what I call the amplifier. When people actively interact with your video, they're sending a super powerful signal to the algorithm that your stuff is really hitting home. We're talking likes, comments, and shares. You want to shoot for a like rate of about 5 to 10% of your viewers, and a comment rate around 1 to 3%. Now, the key here isn't just to say like and comment. You have to earn it. Ask a really specific, interesting question instead of just, "So what do you think?" Create these little like-worthy moments in your video that are so cool or so helpful that people just feel like they have to hit that thumbs up button. Now, this next one. This is a factor that so many creators just completely miss, but it is incredibly powerful. Session watch time is the multiplier. It's not just about how long people watch your video, it's about how long your video keeps them on the YouTube platform as a whole. Okay, this is so crucial to understand. YouTube's main business goal is to keep people on their site for as long as humanly possible. So, if your video makes someone watch 3, 4, maybe even 5 more videos after yours, you become a hero to the algorithm. You're helping them with their business goal. And excellent session time is over 20 minutes. Things like end screens and binge-worthy playlists are the best way to make this happen. And finally, we get to the factor that really ties this all together: consistency and frequency. This is the foundation. This is how you build trust, not just with your audience, but with the algorithm itself. See, a reliable schedule actually teaches the algorithm when to look for your new content to start that whole phase 1 testing process. For the best growth, the data is pretty clear. Posting 2 to 3 videos a week is the sweet spot. Now, that doesn't mean you sacrifice quality for quantity. No way. That's why things like content calendars and batching your work are just essential tools for any serious creator. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Oh, you bet it does. Let's take a look at what happens when creators get laser focused on these 5 factors. Let's look at Alex in the tech niche and Jessica in finance. Just look at these stats. In only 12 months, both of them went from nothing to huge channels. Now, look at their key metrics. Alex has a 6.2% CTR and 58% retention. Jessica's got a 7.8% CTR and 64% retention. They are living right inside that excellent range we just talked about. This is the proof, right here, that mastering the system works. And this quote from Jessica just hits the nail on the head. It shows you the power of focusing on just one of these factors. She figured out that session watch time was her big opportunity. So she started creating series, and that kept people on the platform longer. And what happened? The algorithm rewarded her with more and more and more recommendations. It's a perfect example. All right, we've seen the proof. Now let's turn all this information into an actual roadmap for you. What does this journey really look like in practice? Here's a realistic timeline for you. Getting those first 1,000 subscribers is the hardest part, no doubt about it. It's a grind and it usually takes about 3 to 6 months. But once you break through that barrier, growth starts to accelerate. As you can see, the path to 100K is a multi-year journey, but it builds momentum at every single stage until you finally hit that incredible exponential growth curve. And all that growth, it translates directly into income. This chart connects those subscriber milestones to real-world earning potential. At just 1,000 subscribers, you can start earning from AdSense. By 10,000, you're looking at getting your first brand deals. And as you scale up to 100,000 subs and beyond, it really turns into a full-blown business with major sponsorships and multiple streams of revenue. So, the most important thing I want you to take away today is this. The algorithm is not a gatekeeper trying to keep you out. It's a roadmap. It's telling you exactly what it wants to see from you. The only question left is, after watching this, what is the very first factor you're going to go optimize?